Coach Free coming in next. Coach Kenny Free to the house next. Piedmont Classical School in the house like PCS, Piedmont Classical School Bobcats. Talking about the team, the new school, all the education going on there. And part of the education is Kenny Free, their boys basketball coach. Kenny, good to see you.
Good to see you too, Ed.
It's been a fun year for you out there.
Very fun. Very fun. We had a great time this year.
How have you adjusted your schedule working there this year? Because you're probably working under a whole new different schedule now.
Whole new different schedule, and I'm teaching out there now part-time. So it was a good change and a fun change. And I'm glad that Coach Cardi and Principal Hannah Cobb gave me a chance to do this.
How did you get connected with these folks?
You know me for a while, and I coach little kids, and me and my brother used to do AAU basketball. Well, a couple of parents who their sons go to Greensboro Academy had been with the program for a while, and they mentioned that a new charter high school was being opened up, and suggested that I get apply for the coaching job. I never thought I'd get it, but I applied, and they were gracious enough to give me an interview, and lo and behold.
When you first got into coaching, was that part of the plan of attack to one day get the head job? Because you worked with Ben over at Grimsley, I remember that. You also worked with Ben at High Point Central, and you may have worked a while at Oak Ridge. I may be wrong. Did you do some Oak Ridge?
Well, I was at Oak Ridge for about 8 years. I was believe it or not, I started off as a volleyball coach.
Wow.
And I'm proud to say that for 3 years, I was the winningest volleyball coach at Oak Ridge Military Academy, with 3 wins total over 3 years.
You've been on a tough road, and you've seen the hard part, man. It's not been easy.
And then I got the head girls job there. So I was the head basketball girls coach at Oak Ridge Military Academy.
It was a while. Oak Ridge had like 1 or 2 girls that could actually, you probably played with 4 girls in one game, because that one girl was scoring about 35 points a game.
Well, we had Lauren Embry. She was a very special player, and she was at the time, when I started there, me and Coach Barbera, and she was the 5th leading scorer in the state. And then I had another young lady. We had a pretty good team about 2 or 3 years later. And we had some good scores then too.
Coming out of High Point Central, I mean, that was a tough road over there, no doubt about it. That was tough.
It was, but my brother brought enthusiasm. I was very proud of him taking over a program, and he was able to build a JV program. They didn't have JV for about 3 or 4 years, so he was able to start up a JV program. I ran the JV girls for 1 year, which was fun, and he loves teaching, and the enthusiasm, is what they need over there to get excited about the program. He was able to bring in some good freshmen, and they did. He wanted to do a little better, but they're going to be a pretty good group, keeping them together, and they're just learning. The best thing about it is that the girls are learning, and they did a good job for him.
If they stay together, that's the main thing too. Keep that same crew together for a few years.
Exactly.
How about your team? 9th and 10th graders this year, right?
9th and 10th. We played 28 ball games this year.
That's a good schedule.
And we went 22-6. So
wow.
We were
That's a good schedule.
Well, we were very pleased with what we did and what we accomplished. And a lot of it is the kids, of course. And I had a very good coaching staff with me as well. So
who was helping on that coaching staff?
Well, we had Danny Cobb was one of the. Yeah, Danny was a Southern Guilford star.
Heard that? That's where I heard that name.
Yeah. So, and his wife is the principal at Oak Ridge. at Piedmont Classical.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it was great to have him this year. His experience, and the kids loved him. I had another individual, Kevin Cole, who I coached when he was a kid.
Wow.
And then I had another individual, Harry Reeves, who played at Page, played some overseas, played college ball, played some overseas, and he was with us for about half the year before he had to work took him away. So we had the kids had a good group to learn from.
And the Cole kid, was his dad Fernando Cole? Any relation there?
Oh, no.
You remember Fernando Cole,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. But no relation.
Gotcha. Sounds like you had a good group of people, good group of kids too, right?
Good group of kids.
These kids, you had a lot of kids with basketball. I heard about the Rogers kid.
Yes.
Some kids with some basketball background.
Yeah, well, we had our captains this year. Nick Leak brought some experience. He came from Southwest High School. but just a wealth of knowledge. It's easy to do well when you have kids with good basketball background, good IQ, and then they're willing to play and accept what you're teaching them, and believe in the program and believe in the system that we were trying to do. So he was a great addition. We had Ron Rogers, of course, who led us in scoring this year, who was a real leader on the court and made me look good several times in some very close games this year. We were fortunate to have a good little guard who was our other captain, Luke Pruitt, who was homeschooled for the past 2 years, but came to our school and was really good. And we had a High Point homeschooler who came to us, Garrett Lyman, who brought some toughness to us. So we had some experience, some kids, and then we had the younger kids. We got some great ninth graders. Jack Garrison, who was our biggest, he's 6'6", 235
ninth grade?
pounds. Yeah,
Big
we
kid.
have some. Yeah. We have some good ninth graders. We had Danny Simpson, Braden Prince Booth. We got a great future. We were also fortunate enough to have a ninth grade program, and those ninth graders they played 7 games, but they went 4-3. Beat Greensboro Day Schools, their ninth grade twice, and beat Page High School down 17 points and came back to beat Page.
For you, yes.
And we had some good leaders on that team. Nathan White, I believe, led the team in scoring. Josh Smith, a captain, and so the future looks bright. It looks bright, and I'm very excited about next year.
Will you be able to work with these kids in the off season, coaching them on travel ball? Will you get a team together and stay together year round? How about that?
Well, some of them are playing together in some AAU. We're also going to do some camps. We're going to do some team camps this year and we have some new freshmen coming, so they want to participate in team camps, and then we'll probably start workouts again later on in the summer leading up to the school year.
With all that baseball background in your family, how'd you become a basketball man? Because a lot of baseball background, your dad, your uncles, and a lot of relatives were big baseball people.
Well, I couldn't hit a curve.
Okay.
That was one thing. No, I enjoy baseball. It's still an important part of my life. My son, who's here walking around, he's playing and he loves it. He's a better hitter than his dad was. We were very fortunate with my father, Ken Free Sr., and very blessed to be exposed to several things. He introduced a lot of things in our lives, and we were very fortunate to be able to participate in several sports growing up. Me and my brother, we took more of a liking to basketball, but we love baseball. It was important. It teaches you a lot. We're thankful for that, and just the way the paths go and what led us to where we are.
One time, if I'm not mistaken, you aspired to be a basketball referee. One time you wore the striped shirt. You were looking to maybe move up the ranks, and you had some good connections there too.
Yeah, I did. I was a NCAA ref. I did Division I women. Before Title VII and all that, before the pay equality. So I did, but I did Division I women for 2 years, and then I did NAIA ball, Division I men, which is very good basketball.
It is.
Very good basketball, and that was very exciting.
And you probably had a little travel doing that NAIA.
Yes, we did a lot of travel.
Not as much of that up here as it used to be.
Yeah, we did mostly South Carolina.
Yeah.
I did a lot of South Carolina schools. But with the MEAC, I was a MEAC official for girls, and that was a lot of fun too, a lot of traveling in that too. So it gave me a new perspective of the game and more of an appreciation of the job that everybody does to make the game as good as it is.
You still do the legal work?
I do part-time. I'm still do the law, night and free, PLLC.
Night and free, gotcha.
But
okay.
next year I will be full-time at the school. I'll be the full-time logic teacher there at Piedmont Classical.
Can you incorporate some of your legal work you did into education too? Can you bring that to the classroom? Yeah.
Always do.
That's part of that logic anyway, right?
It is, and we teach them how to argue, and that's one of the things. Logic is the art and science of reasoning, and we teach them how to argue. We teach them how to look at arguments and form conclusions, and to be able to make the best possible argument they can make.
Had at least one kid tonight, one of these young ladies said her favorite class was logic, so it must be rubbing off on them in the right way.
Well, I'm glad. I hope they enjoy it, because I sure do enjoy teaching them. So.
And you must have enjoyed your friendship and business work you developed with Coach Carty too. Must have really hit it off pretty well.
Coach Carty is a great person to learn from, and he's very supportive. And one of the things that I appreciate is having an athletic director that not only is supportive, but he cares about the kids, he cares about the program, and he's a very selfless guy. I wish I had his temperament more, but he allows you to be who you are. And it's just been, I can't tell you how thankful I am for the opportunity, but I'm also thankful to be around probably one of the best coaches around as well.
How about you look at this as an overall point of view? Who's your favorite basketball player of all time? Because basketball has been such a big part of your life. I know you've had some favorites over the years.
That's hard to say, because we've seen a lot. Favorite basketball player. I'm a Sixers fan, so I got to say Dr. J.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a huge Sixers fan. So
you're still a huge Sixers fan. I mean, you're one that's still talking about them. That's good because they.
I know
boost.
It's been a little rough, but they took. I'm also a Duke fan, so they took Okafor. So I'm hoping things will turn around there. But Dr. J probably is my favorite. Just class guy and could play.
How about the best basketball day of your life? You remember your best basketball day ever as a coach, as a player, even as a fan or whatever? Your best basketball day might have been as a player. Who knows?
I don't know. I think the best basketball play, believe it or not, is I got to surprise my brother when they were playing at North Carolina Central when he was playing college ball, and to see him. It's the proudest thing that when you see somebody close to you and especially your little brother do really well.
Who was he playing for?
He played for Benedict College.
Benedict College out of South Carolina.
Columbia, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty darn good. And did they beat NC Central?
They won. Yes,
that's pretty big.
Win.
I mean, think about the size of school with level of competition now. It's pretty big.
Yeah, so I was proud to know him then.
How old are you now? I mean, don't give me that. The thing I'm looking for, what's the age difference between you and Ben, your brother?
7 years.
You're 7 years older. But seems to be, if I'm reading this right, I've been reading this, there's a huge appreciation, like you say, and respect between you and your brother. There's a great kinship there, very good kinship there.
Well, he is. I'm one of his biggest fans, and it's just great to see him succeed and doing what he loves to do. And he loves being at High Point Central. He loved being at Grimsley High School. He loves being around kids, and to see him, he's not the same little kid that was wanting to go around and play with us, and we have to push him away. He's now just see him being a man. A father of three, and to be the man that he is today, it's just he's probably my best friend besides my wife, and I'm just proud of him.
What's the long-term basketball plan for Kenny Free?
Hope to build a good program at PCHS. We've got a bright future. We've got some good kids coming in next year that are going to help the program. I see our kids are just getting better and believing in what we're teaching and doing at PCHS. It's a great school academically, and I'm glad to be a part of it, be a part of the faculty there as well. So I think we've got some tough ball games next year, and that's how you get better. We got to get tougher, and and we've already got some tough ball games that we set to play and still yet to book. But you'll be hearing about us hopefully a lot next year.
Who do you see winning the NCAA tournament for the men this year?
Well, my heart is with the Blue Devils, but I see Michigan State sort of hurt my bracket a little bit. So I think Kansas has the best shot. However, if Carolina plays like they did the second half of that, who did they play second round? But if they play the way they did, Carolina will be tough.
They'll be tough to handle, you think?
They'll be tough.
And up next, they have Indiana, right?
They've got Indiana tonight, so that'll be a good test for
them. That's been
them.
the first time they played since all the way back about 1984.
Can you believe that?
I can't believe. I cannot fathom.
I remember when Uwe Blah was playing, and didn't they beat Jordan and them, or lucked up and beat them?
I remember they played 81 in the national championship game. 81,
but
yeah.
Isaiah was ridiculous.
Right. And it's hard to believe they played 81, played again 84, but haven't played since.
Hadn't played since.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Weren't you one time assistant district attorney? Didn't you get that role at one time?
I was an assistant district attorney for 8 years.
That's a good run.
Had the pleasure of working with Jim Kimmel and Stuart Albright.
Good men.
Yes.
Good men.
Very
and
good.
Probably tied into Grimsley too, I would think.
Yeah.
Both guys.
Yes.
So what's the goal for next year? 22-6 this year. What's the goal next year?
Of course, we want to go undefeated, but we're joining a new association, so the goal is to win a state championship.
Win the state title. You did pretty well at Myrtle Beach too, right?
We did very well. Finished third in our division.
Not bad at all. Did you see New Garden Friends down there at all?
We did see New Garden Friends, and they had one of my former players playing for them, and it was good to see Phil and all them, and they did pretty well as well.
Who do you have with us tonight? What players did you bring in?
Well, I got, of course, Ron Rogers is here, and of course the captain, Nick Leak, is also present.
Okay. Who comes in? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
you're the man. You're the man up next.
No.
Don't want to stop that train of thought.
But I also want to recognize. Can my son just say hey real quick?
Oh yeah, bring him over here.
Trey. He wants to. He's gonna say hey to your mom real quick.
Hey, Mom.
That's what Trey had to say today at Shane's Rib Shack. Thank you, Trey, for adding to our program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Big shout out for Trey, right? Who's your mom again? Just one more.
Kimberly Michelle Fletcher.
You got it. Kenny, thank you, sir.
Good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Take care.